Hello once again, my fellow luxury connoisseurs. In today's video, I'll be telling you all about a man by the name of Markus Persson, better known by his virtual pseudo-name, Notch. As we all know by now, there's a whole lot of money to be made in video games. We've got 16-year-olds making millions of dollars from Fortnite tournaments, and billion-dollar gaming companies continuing to produce new games every year. It seems like microtransactions in gaming make up about half the world's economy these days. The reality is, the video game industry is a gold mine. Perhaps no one understands this reality more than Markus Persson. Notch recently made a boatload by selling his shares in the video game he created called Minecraft. Now, before we get into the juicy details of the luxurious life of Mr. Persson, let's set the scene with some background info on the famed video game designer. Markus Persson was born in Stockholm, Sweden, on June 1st, 1979. He grew up in the small town of Edsbyn. Now, in Sweden, there is an idea that is very popular and accepted by the vast majority of Swedish society. That idea is called janteloven. Janteloven is essentially a way of behaving in a way that puts the society above the individual. Janteloven calls for a humble nature and condemns boasting in one's own accomplishments. This philosophy is extremely popular in Sweden and other Scandinavian countries. When studying the case of Notch, it's very important to understand janteloven. Now, Minecraft isn't the only video game Notch had a part in creating, but it's by far his most successful gaming endeavor. The game was released on November 18th, 2011, and has since stole the hearts of gamers of all ages. It has millions of players, but more importantly, its core fanbase is cultish in their adoration for the game, and there's no signs of it losing its popularity so far. The word Minecraft is Googled more often than the word Bible, Harry Potter, and Justin Bieber, and this single game has grossed more than $700 million in its lifetime, the large majority of which is pure profit. The simple sandbox game was created by Mojang, the company that Persson and his partners Carl Monet and Jacob Porser founded in 2010. The early stages of the game focused on simple block building, with an emphasis on survival. Since its creation, the game has went through numerous patches and has since added countless variables, while still keeping the simple and calming lure that the game uniquely possesses. Persson's role in the game was much more than just a creator. Minecraft's secret weapon was Notch. More than just a nickname, Notch allowed Persson to shed his real-world introversion. Through blogs, forums, and Twitter, he addressed his fans every question about gameplay, development, and even life. Notch also gave followers a figure to root for, a sharp-tongued icon in a fedora that stood up for independent game companies. He's an eccentric game-creating powerhouse, although if you met him in person, you might assume he was a typical humble Swede due to his non-assuming personality. Through his alter ego, Persson amassed more than 2 million followers on Twitter, loyal folks who read his outcries against massive companies like EA. He truly became a man of the people, a man of the gaming people. Persson didn't spend a lick on marketing either, and yet Minecraft grew virally, with Mojang adding Android and iOS smartphone versions that to this day rank among the top 3 paid downloads in the United States. In May 2012, Mojang released a version for Microsoft's Xbox 360 that sold more than 1 million copies in the first week, and 15 million copies to date. Then came the licensing agreements. Minecraft-branded apparel marketed through San Diego-based Jinx became a top seller among young fans, while books on the game became immediate bestsellers. Egmont Publishing International, which has published only a few titles on the topic, has sold over 7.5 million copies in more than 60 countries. Last year, Warner Brothers bought the rights from Mojang to explore the possibility of a feature film. Odds are, if you visit a mall, you'll see a kid wearing a Minecraft t-shirt. It's simply ingrained into our culture, and maybe you'll even watch a Minecraft movie at the theater one day. The game had made Notch a millionaire by September of 2014, but all good things must one day come to an end. After selling millions of copies of Minecraft and making millions of dollars, controversy began to fester. Amidst the controversy, Notch would sell the rights to his beloved creation to Microsoft for all of $2.5 billion cash money. As far as the controversy surrounding Notch, I won't delve too much into it as the subject matter is a tad too polarizing for the refined tone I like to present on my YouTube channel. To put it shortly, Persson went on Twitter and voiced some unpopular political opinions about feminism, race, and other sensitive topics, and he opted not to hold back any expletives and insensitive language that came to his mind. Inevitably, there was plenty of backlash for his comments on Twitter, which eventually led to an environment that Notch didn't enjoy, thus leading him to sell the game. So, the selling of his shares was indeed Notch's decision, but the rest of Mojang would not have been pleased with any step along those lines, and thus a void was created, and Notch and Minecraft went their separate ways. Not long after this sell, Notch's splash art was removed from the game menu, and the only mention of Persson is the opening line of the credits, which labels him as the game creator. Since this exile, in typical fashion, Persson has gone on Twitter and expressed his disappointment with the current state of the game. Many Minecraft fanatics of the early days testify that the game was never the same once Notch left. Yet, at the same time, many believe that the game really began to pick up steam once Microsoft took over. After a $2.5 billion payday, I can't imagine Persson is losing too much sleep over how Minecraft is going. After taxes and plenty of spending, Markus Persson's net worth is estimated at $1.5 billion as of July 2019. Since his massive come-up, Persson has been catching up on lost time by traveling the world and spending lots of his money. In an interview with Forbes, he explained that during the early stages of Minecraft, he was so busy, and since selling the game, he has essentially been partying and buying houses in LA. In December, he bought a massive house in Los Angeles for $70 million, with a wall of glass that provides a 280-degree view of the City of Angels, and the Pacific Ocean below was won by Notch after a short bidding war with none other than Jay-Z and Beyonce. Notch paid $70 million cash, and the deal went through in a matter of days. When he's not partying at his LA home, he's programming new games in his free time. But he indicates that these new games may never be finalized, and he does it just to give himself some structure. Once Minecraft had taken off, he began to lose the fun that he originally felt in game design. Now he's attempting to recapture that fun in his personal office in his home country of Sweden. Persson said he mostly spends money on computer gear and traveling, although he paid $70 million for a home in Beverly Hills in December of 2014. We'll see what I do with charity. I still haven't figured it out. Right now, I'm just buying houses in LA and partying, he went on to tell Forbes. As you can see, Gentleoven is not exactly a primary concern for the billionaire, and this was perhaps a key component in his departure with Mojang. In America or in the UK, his antics on Twitter or his cocky attitude might have been looked past for the sake of million-dollar game design. But in his hometown of Sweden, he has, in a sense, been exiled by some of the people there. Thankfully for Persson, it seems he is keeping his mind of Gentleoven by jetting around the world while programming new games in his spare time. But it's clear that he has his demons. Persson has been open about the downsides of instant success, and he used Reddit to express his loneliness. On Twitter, Persson has opened up vaguely about heartbreak and loneliness. He explained in the interview with Forbes that the beginning of his way out of Mojang was with a tweet. Eventually, he just wanted to leave the company, and he explains that it was due to the negative comments he would receive online. That's when the controversy ensued. Clearly, as history and the case of Notch would tell us, there is a whole lot that comes with billions of dollars. It's not easy to maintain that massive amount of money happily and without stirring up some sort of controversy. Regardless of any unforgiving political views that Persson may have, I do wish him the best, and I hope one day he can polish a new game that comes close to the majesty of Minecraft. That's all I've got for you today, friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip to doodly doo.